Okay, so it seems like this hand, there's no 800, like there's no 1600 straddle on yet, just 400, 800. Doug Polk raises under the gun with an ante with 7-4 suited. I don't know how many players are in the game. Guessing 6. This hand is definitely too loose to be raising. Yes, Paul Newey is not a professional, and yes, there's an ante out there, but this hand is just too loose. In this game, you can maybe raise the cutoff, definitely the button, but I think this is a bit too loose. If you have guys like Matt Kirk in position on you, this is a really bad open because he's just going to 3-bet the absolute shit out of you. Well, I like a 3-bet here by Trickett. I think the size is a bit too big, but okay. That's what she said. And Paul has an interesting spot here. I think this is not a spot in which you normally want to cold call. Maybe if you're extremely deep, but normally it doesn't really make sense. I would go for a fairly small cold 4-bet here. Sucks that we cannot see how many chips Paul has. But I would definitely go for a 4-bet. You really don't want Doug to call in position on you. You want to get value. You mean you're still quite far ahead of Trickett's 3-bet range, even in a live game where people will flap a bit more often. He literally min raises with the ante in there and like with stacks being so deep. I don't think we should go huge, but I think this is too small. Okay, so good outcome for Trickett so far. Flop is king 4 deuce. This is a board on which you can always bet in Newey's shoes. I mean, Newey's going to have like ace king here, aces, kings every time. He's going to have good hands like queens and jacks and whatever. Trickett's going to have some hands like 7-8 suited that just completely brick and more of the like 10s and 9s type of stuff. So I think Paul can always bet here. And he doesn't need to go too big. The board is super dry. Trickett check calls, I don't mind that. And he sees the 7, so I assume he's going to check. Not yet. Oh, looks like he's not going to check. And he bets small, like a 3rd pot. I don't really think this makes any sense. When he calls a flop, he's saying he's got at best ace king, but mostly he's gonna have like king queen or like queens, jacks, 10s, 9s, 8s, maybe like 4-5 suited or ace 4 suited or stuff like that. Meanwhile, Paul has all the aces, kings, and all that stuff. So yeah, Trickett is quite far ahead. That's one of the reasons Paul can bet so often, and this 7 doesn't improve at all. Maybe he has 7s that Paul doesn't, but then again, Trickett doesn't have kings and aces and ace king always. So yeah, I don't like this play at all. You know, if maybe Paul's like a crazy recreational player, but he's not. Like Paul Newey is a good poker player, so I don't like this play. Paul does block king queen suited well, but then again, you know, so that's a good thing. But then again, a lot of people bluff like that. It would be a disciplined fold. I would probably end up calling and folding the river, but I don't mind if he folds right here. This is just pretty face-up play, to be honest. I wonder if he would make this play against like Tom Dwan or someone, or like against Linus. I'm not sure he would. I'm not sure. Maybe this is an exploitative play. Wow, pretty good fold actually. Fold that against 1/3 pot when Trickett could maybe still like test him with 10s or stuff like that, you know, or just float the flop with something stupid. Yeah, I think Paul probably should have called there, but you know, it shows that he's disciplined and it shows that he's thinking, not just like, small bet, I call everything. Why do low pocket pairs play well against a 3-bet? They unblock the bluffing range in position shoes against like 7-8 suited, etc. Assassinito. Was the queen a good c-bet on the flop? Yes, Frenchie. So basically, Frenchie, and you'll see this in the in position play in the course, you'll see that Generally, when the board is extremely dry, so basically when the aggressor is way ahead, which he usually is because he raised and the other guy immediately called, when the board is extremely dry and good for you, you generally want to bet your whole range. So if you wanted to check behind, queens is a pretty decent hand to check behind, obviously. But yeah, I think we could just always bet there and then check behind the turn. You know if beta blockers are common in the live poker scene? I don't know what people are using, to be honest. I think that would just be masking a certain problem. I think that you should work directly on a problem rather than just like filling yourself with drugs, even if they're mild. Unless it's something like, yeah, if it's very mild, then okay. If you're not feeling great, okay. But I would try not to rely on something like that. So I don't know whether or not they're popular. You know, it's like for instance, let's say you have like a leak in the wall. You know, there's water dripping out. Do you just keep on putting towels down for the rest of your life, or do you try and fix the leak? Right? Of course, unless you have some type of illness. So I think it's better to like work on your game to become more comfortable, because you know once you're more prepared, you'll gain confidence, or like you find out different techniques to like calm yourself or whatever. You get in a certain mindset. But I think just not working on that, but just using that stuff is not fantastic, even if it's not that harmful.